Hey, we're doing it, Max.
Hopefully these microphones pick it up well.
This is our ceremonial. Well, I could definitely see, unlike last podcast,
Yeah.
I could definitely see the
mics are working.
The mics. Hey, we're at SAU.
Yeah.
This is a different vibe.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. There's so many people here.
This one is different than any other that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
No joke, I have never seen the stands being this packed. I mean,
too.
we found like an empty little spot here so that we could film this because we're the farthest away from the mats. But literally across from us, I'd say it's like 40% of the stands are filled. 35 to 40% of the stands are filled.
It's crazy. And just like the people walking around, the vendors are going to make a killing today.
Good for the vendors.
I think this guy's got hot dogs.
No.
Yeah. Or sandwiches, hot dogs. I think he has like 1.5 foot long hot dogs.
That sounds amazing. I know that there's a need for us to talk a little louder because it's so loud in here with all the cheering.
I think maybe not. I think the microphones might just do its own thing.
Yeah, but I think that like our normal reaction is to talk a little bit louder. So we might come across like we're screaming.
Oh, okay.
So,
You're saying you feel like speaking. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But I mean, regardless, we're here.
Yeah.
Montreal SAU, February 15. We'll give the crowd a little walkthrough maybe towards the end of the podcast so that everybody can see kind of what's going and what's doing. But I'm super excited, man.
Yeah, you're working hard?
I'm working, making sure that the kids are on their mats. I mean, not right now, but we're definitely working, watching some little kids. Dude, I saw 4 to 6 year olds, so he could have been within any bracket. I was so amazed.
Yeah.
I have to say, Gracie Baja
Yeah.
has these little kids.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing, dude.
Really?
Dude, this little kid, double leg, uses his head to turn the corner, gets the kid down, starts passing the guard. The other kid starts playing butterfly guard, takes him over, gets into the mount. They escape. It was like watching adults. It was out of this world. I mean, when I say out of this world,
It's crazy, right?
dude, it was out of this world. To me, if I saw that kid in the street, because I don't have any kids and I don't know anything, I would question whether the kid can talk to me. I'd ask his parents, like, hey, does your kid speak English? Like, do they talk words yet? Like, I don't even know at what age that happens, and let alone do these crazy moves in jiu-jitsu. It was wild.
You think, was that just the one fight you saw that they were that...
Dude, I'm not even kidding. It's the kid over there in black. He's putting on that yellow and green belt right now.
Oh, yeah? He's about to go up.
He's about to go up. It's out of a movie what just happened. I'm like, where is that other guy?
No, but that's like a 10-year-old kid.
Oh, you think that's a 10-year-old kid?
I mean,
dude,
from where I am.
I am going to find the match.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it up so that people can see what I was talking about.
So all of these matches are being recorded, streamed live, SAU.com.
Yeah, I think it's on the YouTube channel. I'm not 100% sure what the link is, but I'm sure if you go on the SAU Instagram page, you'll be able to see where that's being streamed. Like, we can even see it on the big screen right over there.
Yeah.
So they have one of the mats
you can
going.
find your mat, find your time, and
watch your match.
And rewatch your match to see if you did good or bad or whatever. So yeah, you think it was just these two kids, or you think all kids are just that?
A bunch of them, man. It's really something to watch these young guys. Especially, I've noticed that there's, after being at these tournaments long enough, I've noticed that there's kind of two kinds of kids. There are the ones who do it with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
And then there's the other ones who do it
very nervous.
Yeah, but dude, it's even more than nervous. It's like a little mid-level crying.
Yeah.
It's literally mid-level crying, but they're still doing it because the parent or the coach is asking them to act.
Yeah.
But their expression on their face is either literally smiling or like crying midway, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's the
I've seen that. I've seen a young girl win both her matches while crying. I was like, what the hell is going on?
It is so odd.
Like, it's crazy to think that you can be so emotional that you're literally crying, right? Like, imagine being inside of that body and then still being able to do jiu-jitsu, like still having the mind capable of understanding these complex actions and movements.
You know, dude, I have to say, I feel like that is the reality in all of us, even as an adult. It's just they can't hide it, but our face is hiding it. like some adults are hiding the fact
No,
that
but-
they're so anxious.
Yeah, anxious, yeah, but I mean, like, I've been anxious and cried as an adult. I would never be anxious enough to cry as an adult
No, no.
doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I guess what I'm saying is, on some level, that energy that energy could be still your energy as an adult.
Dude, by the way, what the hell was going on with our open mat yesterday, man? There was like
oh my God.
way too many black belts. Breno was there with freaking Victor, who broke his arm.
Yeah, dude. And Victor's here, actually, he's scorekeeping.
What was his story?
He posted somehow, I think, on his wrist, and it went up all the way into his elbow and created
Okay.
like a little fracture. But not only did Breno show up at our open mat yesterday, who's, you know, an amazing athlete, black belt, one of the top peoples in the country right now, but he brought another guy, and I'm sorry that I don't remember his name right now, but he's one of the refs. Actually, he's the ref right over there with that giant back.
Okay.
That guy, did you see him at the open mat?
Yeah, I saw him.
I mean, this guy, and I'm sorry again, hopefully we can maybe plug his name in, but he finished third in the adult black belt division at Euros.
Where are they from, these guys?
Brazil!
No, but they don't live in Brazil.
Yes, they do.
They flew down here for SAU.
Maybe not for the SAU, but they're here for whatever reason, but they are like home country Brazil. They're not Canadian. They're not like residents here.
They don't have a gym here or anything?
Well, I mean, Breno has his gym now in Toronto, but I don't think this guy does, and I'm pretty sure that he just travels for jiu-jitsu. I've never seen somebody so dominant than the gentleman that Breno
Really?
brought. Dude, I've never seen somebody be so dominant. I saw him.
Yeah, but to who? He's a black belt,
all the other
man.
black belts.
Really?
Dude, he's so dominant. It's something. It's scary, to be honest. Like, he was putting no pressure into some epic black belts, and it was wild watching it. I was like, holy moly! And I had heard kind of through others in the circuit being like, this guy is just on another level.
Really?
Yeah, like he's like, to me, I won't say who said this, but one of my friends was saying, when I roll with this guy, it's like I'm a baby in his hands, and he's also a black belt.
He won Worlds, you said?
He got third at Euros,
Okay.
which is a big deal. Like, especially
Wow.
black belt adult, it's a huge
Yeah.
deal, you know? So,
Cool.
yeah, super cool. I'm being called.
Yeah,
My
right.
name, yeah. I don't know if we can make it.
Why would you want to go to Mat 8?
I don't know. I feel wanted. I hope they watch this and know that I love them, but I cannot be at
They
Mat 8.
see us.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they
Yes.
might not be realizing that we're
no,
recording.
We can't do it. That's the better
Oh, there you
move.
go. Good job.
Yeah.
Deanna knows what's going on.
All right, man. Let's talk game day.
Yeah.
Game day. Our people are in it.
Yeah.
Are you excited about any matches or any of our students today?
Who's competing? I'll tell you.
Oh my God, we have such a long list.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so I don't want to leave anybody out. But like, if I just look at the top corner over there, I know Atchute is competing. I
Right.
know Ayman is competing. I know Nicolas is competing. There's Matt Mitchellberger that's competing. There's Laurent that's competing. There's Rebecca. There's Alexandra. There's Anouk. There's Rania. There's Sasha.
I would
There's
really
the other
like
Sasha.
Rania to win. You know who Rania reminds me of?
Rocky.
No, Carrie Price, dude.
Wow.
Because she's really like the really good athlete, you know, who has everything going for her. Has she won a gold medal yet?
Yes.
Oh,
She has, but I know what you mean because she's had a lot of really hard competition.
Yeah.
And dude, that little guy that I was talking about, he's on the podium right now. You tell me how old that is. Look at the little guy in blue and that other little guy.
No, that's not 10, maybe 5
Yeah.
or 6. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It was 4 to 6 in the
Okay.
on the screen there. So yeah, I definitely know what you mean about Rania. She's faced like a lot of really hard competition, and it seems as if she keeps coming up a little short. That's kind of a vibe.
But it's always like slightly just a little short.
Yes.
Like she's not winning these matches by like a thread, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, Rania. But I mean, everyone who you just named has the potential to win gold.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Owen, Brandon, that whole bracket of like
Yeah.
murderers, you know, Salim, Ishmael. I mean, we have we got some. I'm really proud of the team, honestly. Like, I can't wait to see how they perform, and I hope they listen to this. I hope that they know that it's really not about, I always say this, and I'm going to keep saying it, it's not about winning or losing. It's just realizing, one, what's inside of you. That's a big piece. Like, that is probably for me, and I know like I touch on this topic a lot, but that is the ultimate piece. Is what do you need to work on mentally is a big part of your success. And we were talking about this the other day on the podcast about performance and whatnot, and I ended up reading that night a little bit about that in tennis they talk about the difference of the top 10 players in tennis. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Dude, it's so interesting. Apparently, within the top 10 in tennis, best in the world, they are all the same caliber player.
Okay.
But the difference between the top 3 and the rest is the mental game.
Yeah.
But caliber-wise, like if we like literally were to grade their actual talent,
Yeah.
they are all literally within millimeters of each other, if I could say it that way. But the difference is the top 3 are so resilient mentally. They're so strong mentally that that's what makes them top 3.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about performance at the highest level, the difference is the mental game.
Yeah.
So this is something that I hope to transmit to our team, where I just wish and I hope that they can understand, hey, if you keep working hard, the physical aspect will come. If you keep working at your jiu-jitsu, you're training hard, eventually it's gonna come with time. But the mental reps, even more important, because those things have to be truly trained. Because you can't just show up and do the physical. Like, you actually have to show up to the competition on game day, take inventory of how your mindset, how you're feeling, how you're reacting.
But you know what though? It's not on game day. Because if we're talking about mental reps, we're talking about repetitions. If you show up thinking that you're gonna do a mental rep on game day and that it's gonna change anything about your performance,
You're right.
You're fooling yourself. You know,
right.
like it almost has to be. It's a way of life.
It's the lead up. It's everything.
Yeah, it's like a meditation. It's a way of life. It's something that you have to do day after day after day. You know, like with like slight adjustments as you go along. Yeah, it's a big deal, man. Like,
well, let me ask you actually, unless you want to finish your thoughts. Sorry.
I know. I never have an end to my thoughts.
You know,
I'm serious.
I love it too.
I have a hard time doing a full freaking sentence.
Nah, you're epic, dude. So, if you were, you know, me and you are competing next week, actually in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And I'm not claiming to be some expert, some like, we're talking from our own personal experience. What do you think someone needs to do in terms of the lead up?
All right. So look, here's the deal, man. I don't think that it's necessarily only about jiu-jitsu. I think it's about life, right? It's like, you know that quote, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything?
Yes.
So I think it's more of a thing of that, right? It's about having those conversations with yourself and being honest with yourself about, am I doing what I need to be doing, right? Like, and then also being like nice enough with yourself to like, to be like, if you're not doing these things, you don't feel shame that makes you want to run away, but you're nice enough with yourself to be like, it's all right, we're gonna start now. You know what I mean? Like let's not start like cracking ourselves in the back with a whip. So yeah, and then that translates to everything else you do in your life, I think. So I think that's the thing, man. Like, you can't compartmentalize. What's the word? Compartmentalize just wanting to be disciplined in jiu-jitsu, right? Like if you just try to be like mentally disciplined with jiu-jitsu, but then in the weekends you're like, you know, drinking and not doing what you know. I don't know, dude. I feel like preparedness. I'm not saying that you can't have fun being that person, but I think that it's just it's a way of life. I don't think you can do it for only one aspect of your life.
Well, I think you're 100% right. I think, though, we all have that intention. I guess for a lot of us, and I'm asking you this question as a follow-up, we all have that intention. It's kind of like...
But here's the deal, bro. It's about the actions. Because we're talking about mental reps, right? So if you don't, yes, it's mental, but you have to sit down to do it. That's the action, right? It's like you actually have to take time out of your day, whether it's before you go to bed at night or right when you wake up in the morning or after your coffee or whatever block of time you want in your day. You actually have to sit down and spend that time with yourself. In all honesty, make an inventory. It's like that performance thing that you love so much. So a couple of years ago, I think I wasn't too open to these ideas, but you actually do need to review your day yesterday, tell yourself what I could have done better, and then try to live your present day just a little bit better. Right?
You're 100% right.
But you need to take that time of the day every single day to do that,
what did I do?
Review, like performance review. It makes life sound like a chore when you do that. But I think it can actually be it can actually calm you down.
Absolutely. And you're right. Everything is about framing a problem. Everything can be a chore, dude. Everything. Every activity that you do in your life, if you choose it to be, you can turn it into a chore. Or if your why, and this is why they talk about the why so much in everything that we do, if it's deep enough, then it becomes something that's not a chore, it's purpose. It's living your purpose. And I was having a conversation with Vitor yesterday at the open mat. And he asked me this, he's 21, man, I'm 40. He's a kid. And he looks at me and he's like, what do you want out of jiu-jitsu? I was like, God damn, Socrates, get out of here. He hit me with such a big question. And I don't know how deep he meant that question to be, but I took it in this really existential way where I was like, wow, what a deep, deep, deep question. And we're kind of talking about that right now. If you find that you're looking to get something of a deeper purpose from this sport, you need to know what that is. And then your efforts are no longer a chore, but they become you living your dream, trying to achieve the best version of yourself. It's just a question of how you frame it. Everything can be a chore, but you have to make that effort to be like, no, this is not a chore. This is me taking a step in the direction of the person who I want to become. Which then it just takes on a different light. Everything takes on a different light.
Yeah.
And I've said in the past, to some people when they don't know how to act in these moments, because I think that's the hardest part here. It's like taking what we're saying and implementing it. I think one really good piece of advice that you gave there is the inventory of the previous day and building on that. Yeah. Say like, hey, what did I do well yesterday? What did I do not so well? How can I keep building on this? That's very pragmatic and hey, this is the direction that we should be going in. Another one, sometimes when we don't know what to do or how to start, I love saying this to people. I say, well, imagine you choose the best athlete in the world. I love using Michael Jordan. It's imagine you were Michael Jordan. Imagine you were Kobe Bryant. Imagine you choose your NHL star, NBA star, or whatever star. Well, and if I ask them this question, hey, what do we do? Or how should we feel about this? Or what would they answer? Whatever that answer is, that's what you should be doing. And I gave a weird example. I don't remember who I was speaking with the other day. Well, I'll tell you, I'll form it a little bit more for you. You're trying to lose weight. And I tell you, hey, let's go to the gym.
Yeah.
And you talk to me as kind of like a heavy set person.
Yeah.
The lazy answer would be or the lazy person would be oh man, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like going to the gym. I'm hungry. I had a long day. Blah, blah, blah. You're talking through that person's eyes. But if I said that same question to Michael Jordan, hey man, let's go work out, what would he say? Michael Jordan would look you dead eye and be like, yeah, let's go. And not only that, his intention throughout the workout would be to almost like challenge you, bring out his best. Like, he wants to always be challenged. He's never going to say no to opportunities like that. He doesn't perceive them as hard.
Yeah, but that's too much of a high bar to set to a fat fuck, dude.
Well, it's a mindset that we're trying to shift. You're
no,
just trying
yeah,
to
I know, but that person doesn't have the mindset. If you want him to compare himself to Michael Jordan, he's gonna quit instantly.
I think
that's too much.
Well, I think the way that I'm trying to compare it.
You know what I would say? I'd say just for today, just go to the gym.
Yes.
Do what you can, and then tell yourself that you had a good day.
I think that both things can live together. I also think that you're right. That would be a beautiful win for that heavy person. But in order for him to one day become the athlete he needs to become, he needs to start adopting the mindset of an athlete.
Yeah, but that comes over time.
Yes, and this is the kind of like the jump start here. But I'm not asking him to win an NBA championship. I'm asking him to think like Michael, meaning if he does have to go out and do the workout, I'm not asking him to output like Michael Jordan. Dude, your 100 is your 100. Your 100 could mean 2 full minutes on a treadmill. And I would be like, yo, that was MJ material. You just gave me your 100, even though the bar was super low. But that for you was your 100. You are now acting like MJ. One day that 100 could be 2 hours.
Let's talk about the why a little bit. So what is your why?
When it comes to
Jiu-Jitsu.
For me personally?
Yeah, because I'll tell you what. Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Hit me with it.
All right. Because what I'm starting to realize with me in my life is that the only thing that I want is to be good with myself. No matter what I'm doing in life, I just want to be good with myself. So that's my why, right? So like, let's say given a jiu-jitsu competition, I know I'm going to be nervous. I know I'm going to be fucked up. I know there's going to be the lead up, but all I want to do is in preparation for these things, I just want to show up there feeling like I'm good with myself. I'm okay here as me in this situation. Jiu-Jitsu is just one of those situations, but it could be any situation. It could be in my career, with my parents, with my lover, with my friends. I want to have such a strong foundation within myself that no matter what the situation is, I never doubt who I am and what I bring to the table. So that's my why. Like, Jiu-Jitsu could just be an expression of that. Jiu-Jitsu could be another arena where I get to practice that. But I think overall, that's what I want and that's what I'm praying for. When I wake up in the morning and I spend that time with myself to, review what I could have done better, or hey, when I had that interaction with that person and I felt this way or that way, that I didn't like, is there a way for me to let go of that, like the next time, and then move on from that? Does that make sense?
Oh, bro, it makes perfect sense. And like, there's a part of me that is instinctively, I'm going to use this word, like jealous. I'm literally jealous of that mindset. I think it's the best. I really think it's a 10. It's a 10 all across the board.
Because the things we do in life are only arenas for us to be good, right? And that starts with us feeling good with ourselves. And if you don't check in with yourself to see how you are feeling about yourself, then it's going to be chaos. Mm-hmm. It's going to be complete chaos. And I've lived my life, as a chaotic mess, and just the action of doing those mental reps will save you from that chaos. Like, all of a sudden you can show up places, being like stable within yourself, man. It's beautiful.
I love that, man. And I think it does tie into the performance, that piece that we were talking about. I think that makes, in terms of like a general understanding of kind of like the mental reps, I think that puts the bow on it. That's exactly what we're thinking. Now, I wish I was as as clear as you just were in that regard. But for me, what comes to mind mostly is living up to my potential. Now, that's my big why.
But hold on, Abby. Let me just add this before you go. I think that if you get the mindset that I just described, then it doesn't even, what you're looking for isn't even winning or losing, right? What you're looking for isn't even the outcome. No matter what the outcome, the only thing you want is to be comfortable within yourself when you were doing the thing. So it becomes even more liberating.
Oh yes, in the realest way. But I can't sit here and be dishonest with you and tell you that that's how I see things now.
What are you looking for, Abby? Fucking fame and
no, living
a gold necklace?
No, I don't think so. Living to my potential could, for me, mean, it doesn't mean that I have to win first place at every tournament. It means, and maybe this is another way of saying a little bit of the same that you were just saying. For me, living to my potential is me feeling like I didn't leave anything, that I put it all on the line. So it means living right, taking inventory, doing all of these things. Living to my potential means, Abby, when you look back, are you going to feel like you tried your best and you did everything that you could, or you could have done better and you didn't because of XYZ reason? So as soon as I'm in that mindset, I just feel that I don't want to leave anything on the table. I just want to feel like whatever it is that I decided to take on, that I took it on honestly, and that I gave it my best. Whatever that means. It doesn't have to mean that I win. It has to mean for me, Abby, that I gave my best. Dude, I can end up against somebody who has tenfold the experience that I do. But I have to make sure that I gave it my best. Does that kind of resonate a little bit with what you were saying?
It feels a little bit more performative.
It does, yes.
Like, but I think that's okay too.
In what sense is it performative?
Well, I mean, I think it's.
And I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I think it might be just like because you're using the word like full potential, but there isn't exactly. That's not very clear to what. I mean, I guess you would be the only one who would really know if you've reached your full potential, right? Would you know? Like would you know if is it a feeling that you could recognize, let's say?
I think so. I think the feeling that I recognize is I ask myself, which is kind of like the inventory that you're speaking about earlier when you're like taking inventory of the previous day. I ask myself, Abby, you're doing this thing. Are you doing what you can to be able to succeed? Now, does that mean that I have to have the result of the success? No. It means the success is in me answering that question. Did you do everything that you could?
Yeah.
And if the answer is yes, then I've left it on the table. No matter what the result is, I can turn back and say, hey, you did your best.
Yeah.
And I started thinking like that. For me, at least, it happened kind of in my young sports career and then in school. Dude, I wasn't good in school. School was super hard on me, especially when I went to university and it was in French. It was a nightmare. All I could do at the end was say, Abby, you can't keep comparing yourself to this cohort. They have skills and tools that you literally do not have. Like, you barely can read French. So let's stop comparing yourself to these people. Are you trying your best? Are you doing what you can? If the answer is yes, then put your head up and have a smile. If the answer is no, then dude, you took on a challenge that you weren't honest about taking on that thing. So when I say living up to my potential, it doesn't mean that I have to have the full result. It means that I need to know that I am trying. I am doing my best. And if I could check that box, whatever that means, if it means 2 minutes on the treadmill, it means 2 minutes on the treadmill. Yeah. If it means, because I'm a full-blown athlete, 3 hours on that treadmill, it should be 3 hours.
I think that's the danger in looking for an outcome, because you could have done your best in preparing and everything for an outcome, but if you don't get the outcome, then you still feel like a piece of shit. Like, what's the point of that?
It's the worst. It's the worst way to function, to be honest. Because, and there's, I'll take some other lessons from the business world. They'll always tell you, whether you succeed or you fail in business, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is, sorry, it's not that it doesn't matter. Obviously, it does matter. That sounds silly. What I'm trying to say is that, in the search for an outcome, do not be attached to whether the outcome was positive or negative. Because if only the positive outcomes can have the effect on you to kind of be like, wow, I'm doing good, you're going to be let down and you're going to end up giving up when the negative outcomes start to come your way. Rather, you need to just say one thing. Did I get an outcome? That's neutral. Whether the outcome was positive or negative.
Dude.
And just knowing that you achieved an outcome,
you know why?
Is a win.
Because you can work with an outcome.
Exactly.
Whatever the outcome, you can take it and be like, let's move forward from here.
Exactly.
Right? It's like the thing that you used to say this often. When you failed at a thing, you would just tell yourself, I guess I just didn't have the right information. And now I have more information, so I can move forward from that with... Yeah, but...
Thanks to the outcome.
Yeah.
So attach to the outcome, but don't attach to the result of an outcome. Don't let that dictate how you feel. It should be the same thing in training, and it should be the same thing in tournaments. So I guess tying this all in, awesome. You got an outcome, now you can do what you want with that outcome.
An outcome is actually not negative or positive.
No, it's
just
neutral.
An outcome.
It's just a result of something.
Yeah.
A result. Even that word makes it lean towards like, it is literally... double word, the outcome. So, there, do with this as you wish. You want to feel good about this, you want to feel bad about this, you should not feel anything about this. This is information, we take that information and we move forward. It's a building block.
What a mindfuck, right?
It is wild.
Like, it's really, man, and it's easy to get trapped in wanting an outcome, right? It's like, but it's actually very small-minded. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm like some type of a big shot philosopher thing. I've been fucked up for 4 years, you know, with like this part of my life or that part of my life. But it really is kind of a small-minded thing, right? Like, yeah,
it's a trap. It's a trap that we all fall into,
and it's a trap that'll lead you nowhere. Fast, very fast.
Exactly.
And it's not it's a dark place. It's a dark, angry, evil kind of place too.
It is. And that, I think, is when it doesn't matter who you are and what you do. If you're on that path, that's not the growth path. It's just not. The growth path is when you just look at every piece of data as information.
Because you know why, Abby? Because even if you got that gold necklace or whatever the hell the gold medal, whatever outcome you wanted, right? The new car, the hot girlfriend, guess what? Nobody fucking likes you more.
Nobody. And nobody cares.
Nobody loves you more if you got a fucking gold necklace. Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody.
It's all about the relationships you build with people, and having worked your ass off and it turned you into some type of an asshole just for you to get a Mercedes-Benz. No one's going to want to be with you in that Benz. You're going to be alone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when I say living up to my potential,
yes,
I don't mean it as in I want the result. I mean it as in, am I doing my best for myself? Meaning I am taking the inventory, building on that, trying my best to not have an ego. I need to be able to look back and say that.
You know, it's really all about the mental reps, dude.
It is.
That's where it starts. That is literally where it starts, man. You have... That is what it is. That's the secret.
Dude, that's the tennis thing. It's the difference.
And it's your...
Yes, the performance coach.
Patty. What a weird name.
Yeah, Patty. He's Australian. Super cool.
Steinberg?
Steinfurt.
Steinfurt?
Yeah, or Steinfurt, however you...
He sounds
and
like...
he's super tall.
He sounds like... That sounds like Scottish, Irish, and with a Jewish last name.
Yeah, it could be anything. I don't even know. Yeah. I guess we
Anyways.
could trust him with our money and our mental game. 'Cause he's,
Yeah, or him being able to drink more alcohol than us
oh my
without
God,
getting
he's had
wasted.
it all. He hits all the stereotypes. But he's amazing. Honestly, like that man is an absolute gem.
But that's really where it's at, man.
It is, dude.
You got to connect with yourself. That's probably like the most important thing about anything you want to do in life.
Literally, if you applied that formula, which is what Jiu-Jitsu can teach you, that formula, and then you need to take that formula and apply it in other areas. And then it would be exactly what you said at the
Right,
beginning,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
show me how you do one thing, and I'll know how you do everything.
Let me ask you something.
Up to mat 5, please.
Do you
Up
think-
to mat 5.
Most people do that. Like, let's say McGill students, right? A student that makes it to McGill is a big deal, right? It's a hard school
It's
to
a
get
hard
into.
school to get into, yes.
So, in order to be that person, do you think that they have some type of a daily practice where they check in themselves like that? Like maybe they learned it from somewhere else, or maybe it's natural to them? Because I feel like you can't. What I'm asking is, I think it's possible to be successful without that.
Yes. I mean, sorry, not in the school case, there are kids who make it into and don't have these attributes. You can just be good at school.
It's just
You can
raw
be-
brain power.
Yeah, it could be that. You can also have the kid. I don't know if the runway has been long enough for the person to prove their grit. So a lot of times, when I started,
Right.
I'll tell you one story. I started giving a class, a business class, to like a group of
Lydia Nor
a community group.
Lydia
And
Nor
within that
Sadat
community
from
group,
Sherbatov Gyms
we had
to mat
kids
7.
ranging from 10 to like 15 years old. Some 10-year-olds who were coming from more affluent neighborhoods, so more rich neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Dude, their level, in terms of their intelligence, was so high. I explained a concept, they understood it right away.
Okay.
And then some kids who were from less affluent neighborhoods, dude, they could not focus, they just couldn't.
Okay.
And they couldn't understand these concepts. Now, does that mean that one kid has more grit than the other? No, it just actually means in this case that potentially the parents of one kid and the way that they grew up, they were spoken to a certain way, they had the right developmental tools on their path. I don't know if the grit part has shown yet. They were just, in some cases, lucky enough to be born into a certain scenario. So that does lead into going into school. So I'm not sure if we've seen the grit part yet at such a young age. But let's see kind of around the age of 30. Then we start to tell, okay, wait a second. Maybe this guy didn't have all of the advantages that maybe someone else did. And maybe somebody who did have the advantages saw them through with a lot of grit and determination. That's to be determined in the 18 to 30. That's
Right.
where I see that more prevalent. I don't know to what extent I can give that credit prior to that, because I don't know how much of it is there doing.
But even 18 to 30, so in the book Think and Grow Rich.
Beautiful book.
Yeah, it's a great book. There's a part where he was saying like most men have their greatest ideas after 50.
Beautiful.
Like-
we still got time, baby.
Yeah. Like I don't think. Plus, at that age you have all the experience, and
It comes.
I don't know that 18 and 30 is the right age, especially nowadays. You're so young at that age still.
Well, I just think that the small details that we're looking for will start to emerge at that age.
You know what?
That grit, that like I have a growth mindset. It'll start to emerge and then come to full blossom. Maybe at 40.
Maybe
50,
not though.
Or maybe
Dude,
not, so.
I spent my 20s. You wouldn't even recognize me. How I was a completely different person.
Were you different race?
Yeah, I was black.
I would love that. Somehow you morphed.
Yeah.
I saw you definitely as an Asian. I don't know why. I love that.
Asian.
Yeah, it's because of your hat, the way we wear our
Okay.
hats, the beanies.
I
You could have had that stash that kind of goes this
So
way.
I don't know, man. I think like people can change in ways that we can't imagine. Like, what I would say, there is no stereotype when it comes to to a person being successful
Absolutely.
in quotes, you know, like
Yes.
like there's no right time for it. There's no map. There's no roadmap. There's no guidebook. You know, it's like you can be going through the worst shit for a decade of your life, then somehow you come out of it, and then 5 years later, you're a completely different type of person. You know, like you've adopted a new mindset that now allows you to like be this other person. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it can literally happen for anybody. I to a large extent feel that's my story.
Yeah.
It happened later for me. I'm just saying that maybe someone with a lot of wisdom could see that, you know, I was trying. And they could see, you know what, if this person, he's on that path right now. And maybe that path starts for somebody at the age of 50. Maybe it starts at 60. Who knows, dude? It could start at any time, for sure. It's a shift in the mindset to start getting the mental reps. And once you shift in that mindset, things change. Dude, there was a time when I went back to school. I think I've told you this before. It was a freaking miracle, dude, if I could stay awake and listen to a teacher for more than 5 minutes. Bro, when I say a miracle. Today, my ability to sit with something complex is very high. And I only think back to me trying to read like 3 or 4 sentences and try and just stay awake in a freaking class. Like, that was a miracle for me. And so it just goes to show that you can develop, and
if
it doesn't
you keep
matter
showing up, even if it sucks, you're still progressing, right? It's like, remember the other day I said like learning feels like it sucks. So when you're in a situation and you're trying and it just sucks, it's actually a sign that you're in the right place. Like you just got to keep on going, because that's what learning is supposed to feel like. So like for a white belt, if like you're gonna get smashed for the first 3 months, so if you keep on showing up and you keep on getting smashed, like you kind of know, like, okay, this is the right direction in a way.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That is like a signal that, hey, you are on the right track. This is where you need to be. And I think that's why when they talk about grit, like it's your ability to stay in that uncomfortable zone, like for prolonged periods of your life, where you're like, whoa, man, like. Because growth is never ending. And you have to constantly put yourself in that uncomfortable place.
Okay, let's talk jiu-jitsu so we can make some goddamn Instagram
We
clips.
got to make some internet money, Max.
Yeah.
We need the internet money. Oh, I think a little bit of the older kids are starting. But what do you have on the agenda for us? Is there anything, or you want me to
jiu-jitsu?
Drive the wheel?
So here's the thing. I told Owen the other day that leading up to a competition, he should only roll with guys who, not necessarily that who he knows he can beat, but I told him don't roll with guys who you know you cannot beat. What do you think about that?
I love that advice. I mean, I absolutely love that advice. When it's time, and I know maybe Krevlo will hear this later, and I know he's not hearing it now.
By the way, you were harsh with him yesterday, dude.
Dude,
what the fuck, man?
I was just going to say, I wasn't harsh with him, but I mean, he was, I think we set him up for failure.
You did? What the hell, man?
I'm not going to lie. And I am taking...
I kind of turned around after, and I was like, Krevlo can beat all those guys, don't even worry about it, because...
Right.
Man,
it was the wrong approach.
The material you were giving him was
bad.
Like, this guy's going to beat you.
I didn't say he's going to beat you, Max. I said,
but you were like, he's very tough.
You got to be careful.
He's very tough.
Yes. So in so doing, it was a very, very wrong move.
Because now I think he's going to be in his head about his
Max,
own game.
I can't tell you. I had a hard time sleeping last night about it, okay? Because in contrast to what you gave Owen as advice, I really lived. Really sorry. I hope you can overcome this. But that was not my intention.
You always got, at least for me, I always try to give, especially before competition, positive feedback. Positive, always positive, you know?
It was positive.
Lydia Noor S. Sadat from Sherbatov Gyms. Lydia Noor S. Sadat from Sherbatov Gyms. Mat 7. This is the final call.
They're not a joke. And they are not jokes. Like, we're talking about these 16 to 18-year-old players. So I wanted him to take the matches seriously, but I think I went down a bad path. bit more confidence, but at the end of the day, he has to know the situation that he's walking into. The delivery was off. I felt it after.
Yeah.
I really hope that his performance is going to shine today, but there was a mistake there.
I think the day before a competition, I mean, like maybe 3 weeks out, if you have the list of his opponents, you can be like, we got to focus now.
There were late entries.
Like,
That was a very late entry. So I wanted Prepler to know.
I did something bad too.
Yeah. I'm down here in the month.
I rolled with someone who's competing, and I completely smashed.
That is also
It was really bad.
thing to do.
It was really bad.
And continuing on that full jump from your bag to my bag.
And I didn't even smash him in a way where I was like, no, wait, hold on. Oh, fuck, no, I
Was it
didn't.
Pueblo?
No, I wasn't. No, but I think I did something. By the way, last night, I figured out my problem to my mountain arms.
I saw how tight you were doing with your ice cream.
Yes.
This is very good.
I got 3 last night. 3 of the person that I just said, who I apologize, and I hope you have good matches.
You're terrible.
I know.
Ice cream Pueblo.
And I got an armbar on it, but it was all a very slow, smushing, smothering pressure. Like I wasn't even trying to be open and fun. I was just like, fuck you.
I'm taking this for me.
And then, yeah, dude. So I would always try to swing my non-ACL leg around to go to S. So that I could attack this arm. And I've been wrong this entire time. I gotta swing my ACL capable. Oh, yeah. So, and then attack the other arm.
You know, Max,
Dude, I feel like just that.
I feel like we made a lot of mistakes last night. I know I made more than you, but that's amazing that you figured out your ass mountain on the person who's competing today. The way that I also screwed Pueblo. Dude, he started rolling it out of my best, giving his best.
Why is that doing that?
I don't know, so I'm gonna go check. So he started giving his best and starting his black belts. The next one. I don't know if that was the best thing.
These are kind of weird reactions.
It seems like we're still going.
Are the microphones dead?
Now,
Try to press the power button on the microphone.
I'm scared.
Yeah, me too.
Max, listen, what do we do here? I mean, my guy's blinking. I mean, who knows, Max?
I don't even have a light on mine. Oh no, I do. It's blinking too.
This is worrisome.
Press the power button. Nothing. Ah, it's not good. Oh. Yeah. It just the battery's dead. It went on and off.
Well, maybe we'll just find a good spot. Cut it?
Yeah. All right.
Because I think the battery's dead.